Ma'am, you're there? Poonam ma'am?
Just shifting 1 minute.
Okay, because we are live now, ma'am. We have to start.
Is
Can we start now?
audio fine?
Yes, yes. Now it's good. Can we start now?
Your voice can be like I'm unable to listen. थोड़ा सा loud बोलेंगे please.
Okay. And ma'am, if you're connecting with the laptop, please just increase the volume.
Yes, I've connected to the laptop.
Please increase the volume of your laptop so that I will be able. Okay, ma'am. So we can start. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for the unique talk show Beyond Education, Inspiring Stories to Inspire World, being organized by Idym Group of Companies. This talk show invites people from different spheres who have created an identity in the society through their remarkable work. We are here with one more interesting and inspiring session. Staying healthy is at the top of nearly everyone's priority list, and our daily choices can determine just how healthy we are.
Jumped into this because I realized many of us never take care of our own self. And if we take also, that is just superficial, never inside. We are so fearful that we don't feel like connecting to our own self. So that was one point where I felt that we need to work on this. And if I am able to help out or coming together, collaborating and helping other women touched, then definitely it will make a big difference in their life, because I know from where I come and how I have come to this. At least I can speak. I have that confidence because I had people surrounding, and somewhere I was suppressing myself, not letting myself come out. So that was the one thing which inspired me. And as a woman, we have our moms, aunts around us, and I saw that they were always struggling and the time. at the end, like when they go in the 50s, 60s, when the time comes that they have to rest, what would happen that they suffered from some or other lifestyle disease or disorder because they've never lived their life the way they wanted to. So my sister-in-law's mother, like we lost her to cancer. So that was the trigger point, and I felt that yes, we have to work on this concept and create awareness about it. So that's why the journey started, which was about physical body, emotions, mind, how we can inculcate all the things together and move forward. So this is it.
Right, people, especially the women around you. And you, as rightly said by you, women, we are, do we know like what all care should be taken, but we don't care about ourselves, we don't care about health very much. And this is a very good concept, I think. Like when I just read your profile for the first time, I said, yes, it is something unique. Okay, ma'am. So now because you're working for the Tathastu Holistic Center, so what all services are provided by the center?
Yeah, there are different services. The first thing is just connecting with the people around, with the women around, because we are only not aware that we need someone to speak upon. From think from childhood, some mindset is fixed in the mind that we cannot speak ourselves or we cannot give our consent. So as a like as a girl, sometimes it happens that we are conditioned or programmed in such a way that we are always under someone and never ever given this freedom to share our like expressing ourselves or share our thoughts. So first is speaking with them. So majorly we work upon speaking with the woman so that she opens up and she understand where is she standing and like where she need to move ahead. So it is a combination of all the things: diet, mental health, some emotional activities which will help them to understand where they are, and related to prenatal, postnatal. So it is in women's sector, we are covering all the areas and all women so that we can help them out.
Them because sometimes we when we see talk about us, they only think that taking some medicine and it is over, we get cured. But it is not always true. We require a lot of counseling and lot of support that, and you have been doing that.
Yeah.
And like you said, and even I hear it. I know it is a unique concept that you're working on it. So, so there must have been certainly some challenges that you must have faced. So, what were those challenges?
So you can see as a woman, we
Yeah.
are always surrounded by our own family members, and they feel that the home is the first priority. So that is the one thing which came as a physical barrier. Another barrier was as a woman realizing that it really need that support net help. So that was the one thing which I felt was a barrier because we really needed this counseling for them and to make them understand. Just a second. So she was my daughter. She likes to come in between and share her opinions too. So I think I've covered. So this was about the woman realizing that they really need some support for their own self, and they're very hesitant to open up and share their uh, original thoughts. It is fine. Like sometimes it is fine to share, but as I told you, we have been programmed so badly that it to be real self sometimes it is very fearful inside, and you cannot express. It is very difficult to express. And we did very simple exercises with them, just speaking with them, and knowing that we are there with you, just share. We are not judging you. It helped us. So that way, that was a challenge, to make them aware that we will not judge you. Maybe I think it is, we are always judged. That's why somewhere to open up, they think a lot. We think a lot. I too think a lot.
Even if it is able to open up and actually telling them, okay, we are there to support you, but still making them to like speak about themselves, that is sometimes really very difficult. And yes, it must have been certainly a challenge for you. And as you were talking about thought, so nextly, I would like to know, like, can what is the effect of our thought? Like, or how do our thoughts affect our success and failure?
Yeah. So our thoughts actually controls us. There should be a balance. Initially, when we lived a good life, or we were, if you see our ancestors, they actually practiced holistic principles, where they were conscious about their own self, what they are doing. They were aware. What is happening now, we are just running. As a woman now, we are also running. We want to prove ourselves somewhere. So, and we don't want to face the reality, which is the own self. So that was the one thing which comes. Sorry, can you please repeat the question? Yeah, I
Continue.
remember. Sorry. In between. So it is, we feel body or thoughts doesn't have any consequences. And when this running or race happens, what happens that the thoughts overpower our own self, our physical self, our mental self. Suppose it is like we are riding a horse, okay, and after some time the horse is giving the directions, because we have given it all the power. So this is what it happens with us in the section of like thought. We have given the thought so much power that we ourselves are unaware where are we heading towards. So that is the one thing which thought is affecting all of us now. And when it comes to mental, physical, emotional level, thoughts are very important, because as I told you, we are programmed in certain manner, and we are not aware that how we have to come out of that. So there are some emotional blockages. Suppose we wanted to do something, but then of course I got married and I am unable to do. That blockage is always there in yourself. It might not show you physically, but inside, that thing is going, and after some years, or decade, it turns out to be some very dangerous lifestyle disease or life threatening disease. And when we feel we didn't do anything, how is this coming or emerging out? So that way, thoughts, emotions, everything, we are giving the power, and we are only the one who are suffering from it at the end. So this is how the thoughts and everything is connected.
So much of connection between our thoughts and what all we are doing and how we are heading towards life and how we are leading our life. So that's really a very good concept. And just ma'am, we talk about healthy lifestyle nowadays. So, like today, most of us we are following some sedentary lifestyle, and we don't give so much of importance to exercise and all. So, what is the importance of being physically active, and how can we encourage people for it?
Yeah, so there is one, good saying in Hindi, अंग्रेज चले गए पर अंग्रेजी छोड़ गए. So similar is the thing with us, means where we are following the Western culture in certain thing, but not understanding the whole concept that why they are doing certain things. As you know, India, it is a tropical country. 20 all 12 months we have different crops, grains growing everywhere. So we were always susceptible, and we were always having fresh food, and always we were hardworking. But we came in the influence of Western culture, where they are not at fault, because we didn't understood the concept. We just wanted to adapt their lifestyle, where they are having some food because they don't have that tropical region, that tropical area where 24 hours and for 12 months they have some crops, grains growing, and they can just eat fresh food. And due to that, our lifestyle became sedentary. There was and then entered this marketing gimmicks, where we were told, we were brainwashed that all the things which is in the packet is healthy and it helps you, it has all the vitamins and minerals, and we trusted that because we are consciously not connected with ourselves. And what happened at the end, that we have become so much disconnected that we don't know what we need to eat, what we need to feed to our mind, to our body, to our soul. And that way we became sedentary. This is one physical factor. And emotionally, mentally also, as we discussed in the question, ki thoughts, it took all the power from us. So somewhere this all is a circle which is going on, and we are not understanding that we are only losing in this game. So sedentary lifestyle, yes, as you can see, lifestyle diseases and disorders like diabetes, thyroid, blood pressure, and for women also this thing, PCOS, PCOD is rising. People are unable to lead a good lifestyle, though we have so much of facilities around. So somewhere this connect we need to understand, and we need to keep the balance of that. And the sedentary lifestyle, if it is there, we have to then to understand what is the positive facts, what we can grab from that, and physically how can we actually work on that. So initially, if you see the people around, so if you we see holistically, as I told you, we focus on body, mind, and emotion. So body needs that 30 to 40 minutes of walk. Even if you keep a cycle and with you, and if you don't cycle it, it will have all the rust around. Similar is our body. So physical, this is required. If we are eating, why can't we walk? Why can't we do some activities? So that is one physical part. And then similarly, in sedentary lifestyle now, it is said that we have become a couch potato because we don't want to move. We have the TV, what you say, Netflix, so many web series. We don't have control on our own self. One day we start, and you don't know when the one series end, and you dive into different web series without realizing that so many days, weeks are gone. So the thing is to become conscious with your own self. And once you're conscious, you will definitely understand. See, screen time is essential. We cannot deny that, we cannot completely avoid this. But for my good, for my advancement, what is the thing which I can do it? So we can actually plan out things where we can give importance to all the activities, and make sure that we don't move above that frame, so that it is balanced. And I think the foundation, IDYM Foundation, the different foundations which are actually working and speaking about this. So getting connected to such people who actually want to do something for their self, or for the community, or for the nation, so that that keeps them motivated not to lead a sedentary lifestyle. So something like that we should think for ourselves and do it to come out of it.
like about the web series and all. So people spend so much of hours. Earlier, what the when earlier the people when children especially they used to go and play outside, but now that is not to be seen anywhere. Even the children spend so much of time on their mobile playing games or seeing some kind of cartoons and or whatever they have been watching on TV. So this physical exercise that we had nowadays we go to gym, we go for yoga and so Zumba and all. But earlier the kind of lifestyle they had, all the exercise was done.
Yes, definitely. And now, if you see the mental, this like something like anxiety, depression is also on rise because of this sedentary lifestyle. This is one of the factor. As we are watching web series, we want to be alone. We eat alone. We are in our mobiles only, and the mental health is affected, and we are not aware. Because we cannot think only. We are the power to judge, to take decision is somewhat then diminished. So
Yeah.
mentally also, it's affecting us in that way.
Yeah, like I was just talking about children. So nextly, I would like to ask, ma'am, like, what are some of the challenges that are faced by children in different cycles of life, and what are the impact of those challenges on their mental health?
Yeah, so I think post COVID, we all can see some differences if we have kids around or in the schools where the focus and concentration has really gone very down. uh, Hyperactivity in the kids have increased in all the levels. If you see, the focus is not there towards what actually one initially before post pre-COVID what the scenario was. It has completely changed. So the time a baby is born and to the whole cycle of this children to adulthood, everything seems to be affected by the things which are now. So mentally, if we are not taking care, definitely it is affecting us. And the thing is, as we are not conscious and we are not in the state where we can judge and take decision as an adult also, if I'm looking out for my children, I miss out that symptom. So from a toddler or infant, you say the activity, they are so good in taking mobiles, putting YouTube. Even my daughter, she younger one is 3.5 year old, so she also is expert. But yes, we try to give her minimum. But I have a joint family, so sometimes it happens that she takes that thing. But this happens with everyone. So people are so happy that they see this serial, that serial. The kids are able to watch YouTube. They make they do it with your own hands. Like they're so much aware, and parents or as a adult guardian, we feel so proud. So we are not understanding the colors, the moving colors, the moving pictures have so much effect on our brain, because as a child they cannot express it out, but through the eyes the brain cannot process it faster, and as a result many cases of autism, ADHD has increased, hypersensitivity, hyperactivity, if you see in the child is increased. Even the negative traits or the traits like anger, cranky behavior, it's more in the child before as we compare to the before time. So in the child that things are there. And if you see the school time, they have that fear. The primary kids, if I just take in around the primary kids, same traits you can see in them. The focus is less, activity is increased, and that's why that fear is also there, that we are unable to read, write properly, because somewhere that concept is not entering. And then towards the teenage when they reach, so the scenario is completely different. As we are more in mobile, physically we are not able to connect with our own family members, our peers. Instagram, Facebook has another world that is not real, where people show fake life. And somewhere as an adult, we can keep out, we can be out of this. But as a child or as a teen, if the child is there and that he's unable to judge how he can come out, and they also try to imbibe in that culture where they show off something, and the media profile is full of different photographs, but internally they are unable to express themselves, they are alone, they have no confidence to come to and speak with other friends, family members. So mentally it is affecting them, and as they are unable to express it out, we are also unable to understand at some points that what is going on in their mind. So this is the full circle where we need to actually have more of awareness about all these facts and speak about it. It is fine, as mental health we see it as a stigma, but it is very important to speak about it, and make sure that the child, if of any age group, if it is facing, he can be he can discuss freely with the parents. So the mental health is affecting that way to all the age group, and we need to actually take care of that.
Post-COVID, and the children are so spending so much of time in front of the screen and all. That's where we need to like just bring them out of the screen time. Like we need to reduce using the mobiles or using the televisions, the computer, laptops, kind of thing. So somewhere I think even exercise can help in this. What will be the effect, ma'am? Like if we tell the children to go for some kind of exercise, like for example, yoga. If we encourage them right from the childhood to have some kind of exercise routine or go for yoga regularly, so how can this help the students right from a very young age?
Actually, that helps us a lot, because in yoga, if the proper yoga techniques are applied where we focus on our breath, the mind is becomes very calmer. As I told you, then we from television or from mobile, when we see more of screen from child to adults, the colors, the different pictures, they're continuously moving. There might be the things where we are unable to make out that what things the child is seeing. That is one different scenario, but here whatever they are seeing, but continuously observing or seeing at the screen affects the hand-eye coordination. Even the brains, the neurons doesn't function properly. So somewhere the disbalance happens. So once we are into yoga, we are into breathing, it helps us to calm down. It so we come into that state where we are able to focus with our own focus, and understand that yes, this is how we have to move ahead. So you we might be seeing different children's, and people who were with yoga or who were meditating or doing some activities, even physical activity in that sense, they were they were able to come out of the mental health also easily, rather than the people who were physically inactive, who were not doing yoga, exercise, anything, because for them it was very difficult. The pattern has been set now. It might take lots of time to come out of it, because if you remember, like Anjumji, before COVID also, now what has happened, every TV has YouTube, every TV has different Amazon Prime, I don't know, so many channels and all that. So initially there was one serial which used to come in our TV, and we all family member used to come together, sit for half an hour, and then we used to leave. But what is now, yeah, as it is freely available, we can all can come in different time and see that serial. The choices are uh, also changed, and now the same thing we can watch for half an hour and for 4 hours, 5 hours. No, there is no this any restrictions in that thing, right? So what is happening in the kids, as yoga is and that techniques we are not using, because we don't want to use. Other children, you cannot force them. Of course, using them at early age is somewhat beneficial, but when you want to start it now as a teen, then it will be much difficult. So immediately, if like my serial is there, immediately I want to see. I don't have patience to wait. But we had that patience, right? Ki nahi, 7 o'clock only we have to come. So I have to complete everything so that I can watch my serial at 7 o'clock. But now if you see the kids, so everything is connected. If you want patience or focus in your studies, that will only come when you are focused at this point doing whatever you are doing at. But what we are separating all the things, and that's why it is affecting us. So definitely yoga and exercises, any form of can work, but people who are already affected and are in at the teenage, that they will take longer time to come back, but it is very actually essential to bring them back, whatever means we can do. So this is what I feel.
Yes, some kind of exercise and some kind of just taking them out. And yes, as rightly said by you earlier, they didn't have all such options that for seeing something for hours. And even if we miss something, nowadays, if we miss something, we have another thing to watch. There are so many options because of this digitization. And because of that, the children are again getting busy in this free time. They are having more time on the screen. And yes, yes, somewhere it is also affecting our emotional health. So, can emotions affect our body? Can they have some effect on our body, on our health?
Definitely, definitely. As we discussed earlier, that emotions play a very important role in all our life. For kids who are from 0 to 5 years, they are unable to create thoughts, but emotion, yes, they experience emotion. And lifetime, we also create thought after that, and we also experience emotions. So if there is a good emotion, you will have a good memory. Suppose, for example, if I ask you that when you see, good weather, rains, what do you remember? So if it is a very blissful and good memory, if you can just share, if it is a good, like, if you remember, what you remember when I say rains, anything comes into your mind, any picture?
Staying in rain and playing the boat, the boat, So yes, everything that is happening around us is actually affecting our mind, and it leaves an impression. Actually,
Right.
leaves an
Yes.
impression on us.
And this impression is from the when we conceive the child, and when that time to we the child also takes all the things. But after the newborn, after the delivery, when the kids are around, we say they're small, what will they understand? But that emotions or that things they easily grasp, because the subconscious mind is always active and always grabbing things. So as you told that when you say about emotion, like rains, you remembered about rains, getting wet, making paper boats. For some, it might be, suppose 26th July, people who were stuck there. For them, it might be very painful. But once I say rain, immediately we remember. Suppose a 5 or 10 years child also, immediately sometime, there are consequences when some words are expressed, and immediately our thought goes in our childhood. It might be a good memory or bad memory. What does this mean? This means that emotions are somewhere a way where we express ourselves, and from they are always there with us. That's why we remember it, right? So emotions are there. So therefore, they are also the consequence where uh, when they are blocked, we attract diseases, as we are unable to express out. So there are some good works on emotions, how emotion is related to our lifestyle and diseases, where there is one scientist, Candy Spates. So she has actually a book called Molecules of Emotion, where she expresses that how we need the receptor to process everything around. Even a single thing is not missed, and emotion plays a very important role. The receptor to create or to move forward for cell, for molecule is emotion. So important and essential the emotion is. So definitely it will have some consequences because we are not giving that importance to emotions. So this emotion has a backbone in each and everyone's life. Suppose we don't work on our blockages, so this emotional state is always there, that blockages is always there, and it doesn't let us move forward in any direction which we want to. As we spoke about the women empowerment, or how women are keeping themselves on the cage. So this is a one simple example where emotionally we are blocked up. That's why we are unable to come physically forward. So to physically be strong, emotionally also we need to be very sound. So that's why emotions and physical, everything is connected. But as as I told you, some trend goes and then we all start running towards that thing without thinking that is it right or not. So that way we have left the emotion behind. Now, after I think after COVID, we have learned the lesson that how mental health is also important and how emotions are also important, because that was the things which were affecting us after we came out and we wanted to live normally. We were not able to do it because that emotions were not letting us do though. And also, if you say in the COVID times, what happened when fear as the emotion has two parts, basically fear and love. So if in fear there are different parts, small parts, all will be negative, and infinite love has some part. So suppose your thought or whatever your action you do is fear based, so automatically after that the activity or what the result you get will also be fear based. So there were research done where we saw that how people fearing from that had more of a COVID death than people who are mentally sound, that yes, we can come out of this COVID situation. So we all saw that. So emotions plays a very important role. And this is the time where we have to now focus and understand our own emotion and accept how it is.
Yes, ma'am. Like you were talking about COVID times, really, ma'am. At that time, if we see, it was not the disease, but actually the fear the people had in their mind. Those were don't didn't have a strong willpower. They have this
Yes.
lost their life in fear, we can say. Well, disease was there, and they had might be some of them might be having some other health problems also. But it was a very big factor because the
Very
people
big.
were
Yeah.
very young and they were so healthy, but still they couldn't survive. But there were people who were old, they had some other kind of diseases like some blood pressure, diabetes, and all, but still they could survive. So there really it plays a very important role. And then, like, yes, of course, when we talk about health, so we need to talk about food also. So, what is there any connection about between the different diseases and the food choices, and how it will create disorder at different level, whether it be physical, mental, or emotional? So, what is the effect of food on all these things?
Yeah, food is actually connected. Again, in Hindi, one verse is there. Jaisa khao an, vaisa ho man. So how we eat or the food choice we do, it has effect on our internal health too. So definitely food plays a very important role. As we said that we started following blindly the Western culture, and what happened then, suddenly there was bombarding of packaged food around, and we forgot that this packaged food is not connected to health, and we started consuming it. And what happened that the whole system went haywire. So this is what the food can do. It can make you, it can break you. So what happened when the food which we eat, first it was locally grown foods which we used to actually enjoy, but now we want to actually change. We want ki something different should come always. And the normal healthy food is come now comes under the category of diet food. And whatever outside which is unhealthy, unprocessed, that comes as normal food. So somewhere the concept here is changed about the food. This is the first thing which is about the food, and we need to again rewire this thing and make uh, go to our grounds and see what our ancestors did, what my grandfather, grandmother, my uncle, aunts, what they ate, rather than we, putting this diet thing into that. Were they healthy? They were disease free, but we are not. We have so much of mentally also, they were so sound. They were so much hardworking then too, they were so sound. Why is it not happening now? So, food plays a very important role in this, and the way we eat the food. Screen is on. Where is the thought? And we are just gulping the food down. We have all the food. Or you can say chappan bhog, uh, all the fancy foods you can say, which is not available in India, very expensive, quinoa, broccoli, this, that. But are we enjoying the food? That is the one question we need to ask. We are not. We just want to gulp it down and we feel that we will be all right. So food is the same, but the concept, as an individual, we have changed the concept. Or suppose so much stress is there, we are always running, and it happens that we want to pursue something, we have some goals, so we don't have time to have a peaceful meal. So all these things surrounding food has changed. So that's why we are attracting so much of disease and disorder. So what initially we should do? First, what is our local food? What our ancestors, what my grandfather, grandmother had, that they had the traditional recipes, and now uh, we are not following that, and slowly and steadily it all will be gone. So, like for example, for Diwali, people used to make farals, and now we whatever this oily food, if we make at home, we call it as a junk and we avoid this. But as a child, I remember my mother doing it, and as a friend, we enjoying it. As a community, we were together. Now I stopped doing it, but again I started, because if I don't do it, how will my daughter know the importance of that thing? So locally, what things are available, why we were doing certain things. Once you ask your people around, they will get the answer. Another is the meals should be very simple, basic, not very hi-fi. If simple is also good, but at least start doing it and have a peaceful meal where there is no screen time. You are with family, giving that gratitude to the food and having this food. Another is, the third point is, uh, achieving this food properly, taking the taste and bite, and so that you know that what is the taste and how we are, each morsel you are enjoying. So that way, these small things can actually help you to reverse your disease or disorder also. If you are facing some, the stress will be reduced. So these things we are not practicing. We want to, do a high jump and do something which is extraordinary, but let's do it something simple things first and then go to some extraordinary things. So this thing revolving to the food, if we just focus on these small things also, I'm sure it makes a wide difference, and you can see the positive results then and there.
Yeah, ma'am, as you were telling about the food choices, how it has been changed, and we follow a totally different food styles, like we can say, as compared to our ancestors. Now, as you were talking about the diet, I just remember, like nowadays, again, we say that don't avoid sugar, just avoid eating sugar. Instead of that, you can make the sweet dishes using jaggery. So I just once tried it, and I told my grandmother, "See, I made this. I used jaggery for this." She said, we used to make this using jaggery. It is after that you people started making it out of sugar.
Sugar,
So yes,
right.
there are many things. There are many things like that we have changed, and again we are trying to go back to that in the name of diet. So, ma'am, yes, because there are many people who are suffering from lifestyle diseases. So, as we were talking about the diets and the change in the lifestyle, so is these lifestyle reversible if we make changes in our lifestyle, if we make changes in our diet?
Yes, yes, definitely. I think, there is one conception where people say that if they are diabetic, the whole life they will be diabetic or on medication, or they have thyroid, PCOS, PCOD. They feel that they're not fertile enough. And as I told you, there are simple steps we need to change. But what we change all other things, but the simple steps and consistency we don't take into consideration. So all the disease and disorder, if the thing is under control, they are easily reversible. There are consequences where we have seen the people with very high level of diabetes and HbA1c have come down and leading a normal life just by changing the lifestyle. So definitely that shift is possible, and it is possible in good sense, so that you are connected to yourself and holistically you're working with yourself. So not only the diabetes or blood pressure, hypertension, thyroid is reversible, but you will be a different you when you actually work with yourself and change your energy levels, where that energy levels are in positive side, and when it rise, definitely you will be a motivation where others will see you and they will change your lifestyle. And we have so many examples around now also. And yes, we need to work upon it, and it is reversible. It is reversible. Everything is reversible. Just we need to have that faith and start working on our lifestyle. As we say, slow and steady wins the race. Similarly is what we need to work upon. Need to slow down and get connected to ourselves and
Yeah,
our lifestyle.
yeah, that's really great. That somewhere if we make changes in our lifestyle, so we can actually be able to cope up with the diseases, overcome these diseases that many of the people are suffering from. And yes, ma'am, we have talked so much about health, but I would like to know something more about you. You're also the regional leader of Maharashtra for Ear to Hear, an organization. So, what are some of the activities that you conduct through it?
That is also related to mental health and women. As I work with women, and somewhere I feel that whatever we can contribute to the society and as a community, if we feel that we need to grow alone, it is not possible. We have to create that community and that positive vibe, and mentally, emotionally, we have to take care of ourselves and our acquaintees. So mental health awareness is one of the platform, uh, year to year, where we are working and create different topics, bring different topics related to mental health, uh, and present it to women around, so that they are benefited from it. And there are offline online event. The founder Richa Mehta, like, she's doing a wonderful job. She has connected many women around the globe. And not only by creating mental awareness, we are not helping other women, we are helping our own self to grow, to evolve, and to connect with our own self. So this way, this community is helping.
You're having such a doing such a great work. But it is said that if you want to be successful in life, you should be having some kind of goal. So certainly you must be also having some goals. So what are your long-term and short-term goals?
uh, the goals is,
Yeah, ma'am,
am I
you're audible.
audible?
Yes,
Am I,
yes, yes, you're audible.
so so actually the goal is to help out the community, to create a conscious community of women where we stand for ourselves and for each other. So this is the one goal which I am carrying forward, and the long term goal is that we all achieve something in a bigger level, where we all come together and transform our life in such a way that we are not only balancing ourselves, like we, as if we are always balancing our family, our kids, but at the bigger level where we are financially also independent, emotionally also we take care of our health. And that way, in 5 years, how we all can create a huge community where we come together and we show that yes, we also have that power, and we also have that confidence where we are not, we are self dependent. And that's what I want to create, and that's what I'm looking forward to do in the future.
Before leaving, we would like you to give a small message for all our audience.
Uh, First of all, thank you again, this IDYM Foundation and Anjumji, for taking it and patiently listening to our answers and always being there with all the inspiring stories. And the message which I want to leave with all of you is, let's create that community in all of us where we are really the way we are, rather than having that two faces and mentally or internally not being happy, satisfied. Let's come out and accept ourselves how we are. Let's start loving ourselves. And because, give a pat on your back, because whatever we have done, so much of journey, this is really amazing. We have faced so many situations, ups and downs, and still we are surviving. So definitely, ahead also we have all that thing and all the successes for us. So with this message, want to just
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And as you were saying, like, give a pat on your back. This is something like we do in our training sessions. We just tell everyone just put your hand and give a pat on your back. Which is something which always do. That was actually really motivating for them. They think that yes, we are doing something good of it. And yes, now that was again a very inspiring session, I can say. And because health is the main concern, because it is said health is wealth. And so everyone listening to us, and even I knew more about health and how our emotions, our thoughts, our food choices, our lifestyle, how it is affecting our health. It was really a very great session, full of learning and full of inspiration. Thank you very much, ma'am,
thank you. It's my
for
pleasure.
joining the show and sharing such immense knowledge with all of us. Thank you very much. And I also thank Ravi Shankar sir and the team of ITYM, Zainat ma'am, trainers, and all the persons behind the screen who have been working to make this show better. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.